My beloved child, come closer for a moment. Don't rush, don't scroll, don't blink. Something inside you already knows this message was crafted for you long before you ever pressed play, long before your screen lit up, long before today even existed. Your spirit felt the signal before your mind recognized it. That sudden flutter in your chest, that subtle chill in your spine, that was not coincidence, it was alignment. Breathe. Stay. Listen. You didn't arrive here by wandering. You were led here with precision sharper than mathematics, timing more intentional than sunrise, direction more personal than your own thoughts. Someone has had their eyes on your timeline for longer than you can imagine, not in surveillance, not in judgment, but in anticipation. And today, finally, something moved. There is a force not ordinary, not random, that has been walking 3 steps ahead of you, rearranging events, redirecting outcomes, refusing to let you miss what was meant to collide with your life. That force paused your day, slowed your scrolling, and placed this exact message in your hands like a key that belongs only to you. So don't skip, not because of fear, but because of recognition. There has always been something different about you. You've felt it since childhood, haven't you? That quiet sense that you didn't quite fit into the world the way others did. Not because you were less, but because you were wired for something larger, something heavier, something hidden. People sensed it too, even if they didn't have words for it. Some admired it. Some feared it. Some tried to dim it. But nothing ever erased it. Because destiny doesn't negotiate, it waits. And it has been waiting for you. Someone, yes, a real someone, has been looking for you. Not a stranger on the street, not an organization sending messages into the void, but an individual whose entire assignment shifted the moment your name appeared on a confidential document. They weren't searching billions of people, they were searching one. You. Their steps, their research, their urgency, all of it pointed in one direction. And every path, every clue, every breadcrumb looped back to you like a magnetic pull the universe could not ignore. And now, finally, they are close. But before anything unfolds, before anything is revealed, hear this clearly: there is nothing dangerous chasing you. No punishment, no crisis, no warning. What is chasing you is recognition, validation, confirmation. Something that belonged to you long before you ever knew it existed. There has always been a sealed chapter in your life, one unopened, unread, untouched. Not because it was denied to you, but because it was protected until the correct version of you arrived. And that version, the one strong enough, aware enough, awakened enough, that version is you today. Don't minimize this moment. Don't rationalize it away. Don't say, it's just a video, it's just a message. Your spirit knows better. Otherwise, why would your heartbeat change? Why would your breathing shift? Why would something inside whisper, pay attention, because something long overdue is finally moving toward you? This person, the one searching, wasn't sent randomly. They were assigned. Their role changed the moment they were handed a file containing only a few details, no address, no photo, no explanation, just a name and a timestamp. And that timestamp pointed to now. Not last year. Not last month. Not last night. Now. Don't scroll. Not yet. There's more. When they first held that file, they didn't understand why it felt heavier than paper should feel. They didn't understand why their heart sped up. They didn't understand why their hands shook slightly as they opened it. But the deeper they looked, the more certainty rose inside them, not certainty based on logic, but certainty rooted in intuition, the kind that overrides doubt, the kind that whispers, "This matters." Inside that file was a note, brief, unpunctuated, almost cryptic. It read, "Locate immediately. Confirm identity. Do not delay." That was it. No context, no instructions, no history. Just urgency. And urgency never arrives without reason. They began searching quietly, carefully, relentlessly. And as they did, strange things kept happening. Websites glitched. Addresses didn't exist. Phone numbers led nowhere. It was as if reality itself refused to reveal you until the exact second destiny was ready. And that second is unfolding right now. You may think you're listening to a story. But it's not a story, it's a retrieval. Because somewhere, sealed beyond access, beyond interference, beyond expiration, rests something connected directly to your existence. Not metaphorical. Not symbolic. Actual. Documented. Authorized. Waiting. And your name isn't written on it casually, it's engraved with intention. But here's where everything shifts. This file was never supposed to be opened early. It was time-locked, fate-locked, spiritually gated. And when they finally gained access, not forcefully, but through alignment, two things immediately became clear. 1, you were selected. 2, you were selected long before you were born. Pause. Let that settle. This wasn't based on performance. This wasn't based on achievements. This wasn't based on mistakes either. This was predetermined. Which means there is nothing you can do now to disqualify yourself. There never was. And yet, somehow, you've spent years believing you were overlooked, unseen, forgotten, replaced. But the truth is the opposite. You weren't ignored, you were reserved. Hidden in plain sight until the world was finally ready for the magnitude of what you carry. You haven't been late. You've been preserved. And now that preservation is ending because activation has begun. Stay with me. Don't go. You think you're listening by choice, but choice didn't bring you here, alignment did. Your soul already knew this moment was scheduled. Your spirit already recognized the pull long before your eyes landed on these words. This is not a coincidence. This is not a script. This is not entertainment. This is the moment before the unfolding. Someone, somewhere, just received the final notification. The system updated. The alert triggered. The search is complete. The distance between you and what carries your name is shrinking faster than you realize. That's why you've been feeling restless. That's why you've been sensing change. That's why nothing familiar feels comfortable anymore. Your life has been preparing room. Everything that fell apart didn't collapse, it cleared space. Every delay wasn't denial, it was alignment. Every disappointment wasn't punishment, it was protection from premature arrival. Because what belongs to you is too significant to be mishandled. You have no idea how long this has been waiting, how far it has traveled, how many times it nearly reached you, how many forces tried to interfere, how many obstacles dissolved without your knowledge. And still, it found you. Not because you chased it, but because destiny always returns to its rightful owner. Breathe again. Slowly this time. Feel the shift not around you, but within you. That quiet hum, that subtle warmth, that rising clarity, that is confirmation. This isn't the beginning of the journey. This is the beginning of the unveiling. And everything changes from here. You may not realize it yet, but something has already shifted around you. Not in a loud, dramatic way, not with thunder or fireworks, but silently, like a curtain being drawn back in a theater while the audience still settles into their seats. Destiny always prefers subtlety before revelation. And right now, everything in your life is responding to that shift. People who once felt familiar may suddenly feel distant. Places that once felt comforting may now feel too small. Thoughts that once seemed harmless may now feel heavy, like clothing you've outgrown but still try to wear. These aren't signs of confusion, these are signs of expansion. Your life is making room for what's coming. Because the moment your name resurfaced, the moment that sealed document reopened, the world you knew began rearranging itself to align with the world you were meant for. That's why you're here, listening, absorbing, awakening. Your timeline is stretching, widening, preparing. And someone else knows it too. The individual searching for you, the one holding the file, hasn't stopped moving since the moment recognition struck. They aren't chasing hundreds of possibilities. They're following one thread, one signal, one truth: you exist, and you are ready. Their urgency isn't rushed, it's reverent. It's the kind of urgency someone carries when they've discovered something invaluable and must protect it at all costs. For a long time, they didn't understand why the assignment mattered so deeply. They didn't know why every instinct told them not to hand it off, not to postpone it, not to treat it like paperwork. It felt personal even before they knew who it belonged to. And now they understand why. Because nothing about you has ever been random. You may think of your life as a collection of coincidences, unexpected encounters, inconvenient delays, strange opportunities, but every moment has been connected like constellations in a sky you haven't learned to read yet. Even the painful chapters, the seasons where you questioned everything, were not wasted. They were calibration. Every heartbreak softened your ego. Every setback strengthened your endurance. Every disappointment sharpened your perception. Every loss taught you how to hold blessing without trembling. Without knowing it, you've been trained for this. And that sealed file, yes, the one carrying your name twice, reflects that preparation. Not once did the universe doubt you. Not once did destiny consider choosing someone else. The selection was final, irreversible, intentional. And now the world must adjust to the reality of who you truly are. Not who you pretended to be for survival. Not who others assumed you were. Not who past versions of you settled for. But who you were meant to become. That's why the file didn't surface years ago. You weren't ready, not because you lacked ability, but because you deserved to receive what belonged to you from a place of wholeness, not desperation. Blessings given too early become burdens. But blessings given at the right time become legacies. And yours is approaching with purpose. Let us return to the moment the file was opened, because something extraordinary happened. When the person assigned to locate you first read your name, they expected to continue to the next page, the next detail, the next instruction. But instead, they paused, confused. Because beneath your name was something not normally included: an annotation. A single sentence, handwritten, not typed, almost as if someone wanted it seen by only one set of eyes: do not reveal everything at once, alignment must lead understanding. They read it twice, then 3 times, realizing the message wasn't meant for them. It was meant for you. Whoever wrote that sentence understood something powerful: information given too quickly overwhelms. But revealed slowly, gradually, gently, it transforms. And transformation is already taking place. That's why you feel alert. That's why you feel present. That's why your senses sharpened the moment this message began. You are remembering yourself. Not learning, remembering. The person searching for you has studied every detail available. Not just your name, but your patterns, your timing, your symbolic intersections, your improbabilities. And the more they discovered, the more undeniable it became. Your life has been protected from collapse in ways you may never know. Think about it. There were moments where you should have given up, but somehow you didn't. Moments where everything fell apart, yet something told you to keep holding on. Moments where you lost things you thought you needed, only to later realize survival became easier without them. You were never abandoned, you were rerouted. Because destiny rarely takes the straight road. This person, let us call them the keeper for now, noticed something else. Every attempt to reach you before today failed, not because you were unavailable, but because timing wasn't aligned. The file wasn't delayed, it was preserved. Meaning whatever rests inside it will arrive untouched, unchanged, uncompromised. Nothing can steal what was written for you. Not people. Not circumstances. Not mistakes. Not fear. Not time. Your name was never placed on something temporary, it was placed on something permanent. And yet, you never bragged about your strength. You never demanded recognition. You never forced destiny to arrive. Instead, you learned how to endure quietly. You learned how to rebuild silently. You learned how to grow without applause. And that humility is part of why this moment chose you. Because power without humility becomes destruction. But power with humility becomes destiny. The keeper sensed that too. That's why they didn't treat this like a transaction. They treated it like a responsibility. They knew the person connected to this file, whoever they were, had lived through storms without surrender. They felt reverence, not curiosity. And now, after countless attempts, endless searching, unexpected synchronicities, and timing no human could engineer, they are closer to finding you than ever before. Closer than geography. Closer than technology. Closer than coincidence. Because contact has already begun. Not physically. Not formally. But energetically, spiritually, intuitively. This message isn't the beginning of communication, it's the moment your awareness finally caught up. Somewhere deep inside, you already sensed something coming. You've felt unusually expectant, emotionally heightened, mentally alert, spiritually awake. You may not have understood why, but your internal world has been preparing long before the external world revealed anything. You've been feeling the echo of a future that now stands at your door. And here's the part that matters most: your life is not waiting for permission anymore. It's waiting for acknowledgement. Once you accept what is unfolding, everything else will reorganize itself: relationships, opportunities, finances, direction, identity. Not through chaos, but through alignment. Not through force, but through resonance. You are entering a season where what is meant for you will not require chasing. It will come toward you with clarity, ease, certainty, familiarity, because your energy will match its frequency for the first time. That is what it means to be chosen twice. Not chosen because you needed saving. Not chosen because you were lucky. Not chosen because someone else lost. Chosen because existence itself recognized your capacity. The keeper knows this. That's why they continue searching, not because you are missing, but because your arrival carries impact. Your existence affects more than just your own life. Your presence activates timelines beyond your awareness. When you step into alignment, others do too. You are a catalyst, not a participant. That's why things around you have felt unsettled lately. Not because something is wrong, but because transformation always begins with rearrangement. Life must remove what cannot go where you're heading. And what remains, what stays, what returns, what appears will not require questioning. Just like this message didn't. You didn't plan to hear it. You didn't go searching for it. You didn't anticipate it today. And yet, here it is. And here you are. Aligned at the same exact second. Not early. Not late. Perfect. Which means the unfolding has already begun. There is something remarkable about the way life begins to behave when destiny is near. Small things suddenly feel significant. Random moments begin to feel intentional. Coincidences grow louder, closer, more frequent, as if the universe is clearing its throat, preparing to speak clearly. And if you look closely, you'll notice those signals have already begun appearing in your life. A conversation you overheard. A memory that resurfaced out of nowhere. A dream that felt too real to ignore. A thought that refused to leave. A sudden awareness of your own existence. None of those were accidental. They were confirmations, quiet, private, personal, sent only to you. Because what is coming does not require public announcement. It only requires your recognition. The keeper, still moving, still searching, still guided by instinct more than instruction, felt those same signals too. Not in the form of words or visions, but in momentum. Each question they asked led to another. Each path they followed opened into another corridor. Each supposed dead end revealed a hidden passage. It was as though unseen hands were rearranging the world in real time to bring them closer to you. And with every new step, their certainty deepened. They were not the one pursuing you, were the one being revealed. That realization changed everything. Instead of looking outward, they began looking inward, trusting intuition over logic, timing over urgency, alignment over effort. And the moment they shifted their approach, the search accelerated. Answers that were once unavailable suddenly appeared effortlessly. Information once hidden surfaced without resistance. Because destiny never responds to force, it responds to readiness. Meanwhile, without knowing it, you were preparing too. Your inner world has been adjusting like a camera lens refocusing on a distant horizon. Your thoughts have become sharper, your emotions more honest, your awareness more alert. You've been shedding old beliefs without even trying. Not because someone told you to, but because they no longer fit the person you are becoming. You've outgrown silence, you've outgrown shrinking. You've outgrown waiting for permission. Something within you has been unlocking quietly, almost politely, so you wouldn't panic, but now it refuses to remain unnoticed. You are beginning to sense the truth: you were not meant to simply survive your life. You were meant to inhabit it fully. The keeper felt that too, the difference between someone who is lost and someone who is awakening. And awakening cannot be rushed. It blooms the way morning light does, softly at first, then all at once. But here's the part most people never realize: before destiny arrives, it asks a single question: are you ready to receive without fear? For most, the answer is no. They want change but cling to familiarity. They want transformation but fear release. They want the future but still negotiate with the past. But you've reached a threshold few ever do. You are no longer holding on to what was. You are no longer trying to return to old versions of yourself. You are no longer resisting the unknown. You are available. And availability is the greatest invitation destiny ever receives. The file the keeper carries proves it. Because the deeper they explored it, the clearer it became. This wasn't documentation, it was recognition. It did not list your struggles, your achievements, your failures, or your victories. It didn't care about timelines or circumstances. Instead, it contains something far more rare: a detailed record of potential. Not what you've done. What you are capable of doing. Not who you've been. Who you are here to become. Every human is born with possibility, but very few live long enough, brave enough, awake enough to activate it. You are one of the rare ones. Not because life has been easy, but because you survived what was meant to break you, and not only survived, but continued with empathy still intact. Strength without hardness. Wisdom without cynicism. Hope without naivete. Endurance without bitterness. These are the qualities destiny searches for but seldom finds. And the keeper understood then locating you wasn't the challenge. Timing was. Because destiny is not delivered to the sleeping. It waits for the conscious. You've been feeling that consciousness rising in subtle ways. A restlessness you can't explain. A craving for change without knowing what kind. A suspicion that something bigger has been happening behind the scenes of your life. A quiet certainty that you're on the edge of something unnamed. These are not emotions, they are signals. Signals that the sealed future is finally ready to meet the present. But before that meeting occurs, the universe always performs one last check, not of your circumstances, but of your self-perception. Because what is coming requires you to recognize yourself, not as the world defined you, but as you truly are. Not overlooked essential. Not replaceable singular. Not lost guided. Not waiting arriving, and whether you realize it or not, you have already begun treating yourself differently. Your boundaries have strengthened. Your standards have shifted. Your intuition speaks louder and you listen more quickly. You no longer shrink to be understood. You no longer apologize for existing. You no longer settle for half love, half effort, half life. That is growth. That is alignment. That is preparation. The keeper saw another detail in the file, one unlike anything they had encountered before. It wasn't printed, it wasn't typed, it wasn't formatted. It looked almost like a fingerprint pressed into the page itself, a mark, a symbol, subtle yet undeniable. At first glance, it meant nothing. But the longer they looked, the more they felt its weight. Because it wasn't a symbol for the world. It was a symbol that belonged only to you. And somehow, without hearing it, without seeing it, without being told, you already know what that symbol represents. Its meaning has lived inside you your entire life, silent, patient, waiting for identification. That recognition is awakening now. There is a reason you never fully aligned with the environments you were placed in. There is a reason you always felt a step ahead or a step outside. There is a reason you grew mentally, spiritually, emotionally faster than those around you. Your life has been unfolding according to a blueprint no one else could access. The world judged you by your surroundings. Destiny judged you by your origin. And your origin did not begin with birth, it began with purpose. The keeper realized something else too. This file was not only meant to find you. It was meant to reach you at a precise emotional frequency. Not when you were broken. Not when you were exhausted. Not when you were grieving. And not when you were distracted trying to survive. But when you were ready to receive without trembling. You are ready now. That's why this moment feels different, not dramatic, but inevitable. It doesn't feel like something new entering your life, it feels like something returning, something overdue, something familiar, something that belonged to you before you even knew how to want it. This is not arrival, it is reunion. And reunions never rush. They unfold with reverence. The keeper, after endless searching, has stopped doubting. Their mission no longer feels like a responsibility, it feels like fate. Something in their chest tells them they are close, not physically, but spiritually, energetically, synchronistically. They sense you before they see you. Because connection always precedes contact. And somewhere inside you, a matching awareness has sparked. You don't know how. You don't know why. But you know something is changing. Not someday. Not eventually. Now. Your external life may still look the same, but internally, everything has already shifted. The future has begun rearranging itself around you. Opportunities, conversations, invitations, insights, alignments, openings. Doors you forgot about are unlocking. Doors you never noticed are appearing. Because destiny doesn't knock, it enters when recognized. You are no longer standing on the outside of your life. You are stepping into the center of it. You may not see the full picture yet, but you feel the edges forming. And soon, not by force, not by accident, but by inevitability, the meaning behind everything you've lived through will come into focus. Every unanswered question. Every unexplained delay. Every unlikely survival. Every invisible intervention. Nothing was random. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was unnecessary. And now the proof is approaching. Not metaphorically. Not spiritually. Literally. The keeper is almost at the final page of the file. And what is written there is not a conclusion, it's a beginning. Your beginning.